Before you spend money on patents, prototypes, or manufacturing for your new idea, innovation, watch this. How do you know your idea is worth pursuing? Here's some lessons from my own innovation journey. Do you have an idea that just won't leave you alone? And perhaps it wakes you up in the middle of the night. Maybe you've watched customers or patients or even clients struggle with the same problem over and over again, and you thought, there's got to be a better way. And then almost immediately, the doubts begin. Your self-talk, right? Your negative self-talk. Is this really a good idea? Would anybody actually buy it? Has somebody already invented it? Do I need a patent? Should I build a prototype? Could I lose thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars chasing something that will never succeed? If you've ever asked yourself those questions, you're not alone. Today, I'd like to share what my late husband, Richard Cherry, and I have learned through our own innovation journey over the last 40 years, the successes, the failures, and the lessons that ultimately inspired me to create the Innovation Journey Framework. If you find these ideas useful, please share with a fellow innovator. When Richard and I began creating business together 40 years ago, we did not have a roadmap. Now, he had invented many products before I met him. He invented since he was a child, and he created many products and services used worldwide that you use every day. And he partnered with what are now celebrities and like the Colonel of KFC and others. But like many innovators, when we were working together, we were figuring things out one step at a time. Richard had an extraordinary gift. He saw possibilities where other people saw obstacles. He was consistently asking, why can't this be done differently? And one of those ideas eventually became what would become the world's first virtual call center company. It was called Willow CSN. It's now called Arise.com. At the time, people thought customer service had to happen inside large office buildings. We had a call center with the traditional people sitting side by side in a room. That's the way it was done. But Richard believed otherwise, and it was not an easy journey. We spent years developing the concept, the technology, working with our programmers and our engineers, working with the patent attorneys, building the technology, raising capital, convincing investors, and making a lot of mistakes. But we were learning. Eventually, that innovation led to a successful multi-million-dollar acquisition. We won the Smithsonian Computer World Award. We were awarded by President Clinton a special award for enabling people with disabilities to work from home and create meaningful employment. But that was not the end of our story. Years later, we also experienced bankruptcy. Remember 2007, 2008? We had quite an episode, let's call it that. But we came back. That experience taught me something equally valuable. Commercial success and commercial failure often depend on the quality of the decisions made long before a product ever gets to the marketplace. People often think innovations fail because the idea wasn't good enough. And I don't believe that's actually usually true. I think most innovations struggle because innovators do not know what to do next. They hire specialists too early. They spend money in the wrong places. They skip important validation, or they become overwhelmed by all the decisions. And that's exactly why I created the Innovation Journey Framework. Not to tell people whether their idea will succeed. No one can promise that. Instead, this framework helps innovators, maybe like you, to make better decisions in the right order and before investing significant time and money. Before spending thousands of dollars, ask yourself 5 questions. Question number 1, does my idea solve a real problem? People rarely buy products. They buy solutions. The bigger the problem, the more valuable the solution may become. Question number 2. Who specifically has this problem? Can you clearly describe your ideal customer? Doctors, parents, seniors, athletes, manufacturers. The more specific that you can be, the better. Question number 3. Would someone actually pay for this? Friends saying, hey, that's a great idea. That's not validation. Would someone spend their own money? That's a very different question. Question number 4. What evidence do I have? Have you interviewed potential users? Observed the problem? Studied competitors? Validated the market? Ideas become much stronger when supported by evidence. And question number 5. Am I solving the right problem? Sometimes the first idea is not the best idea. Through research and testing, conversations, the innovation often evolves, and that's perfectly normal. One thing that I've learned is that every successful innovation follows a journey. And that's why I describe innovators as moving through 4 stages. The visionary, you imagine possibilities. Explorer, you pursue clarity. Builder, you create solutions. And commercializer, you create impact. None of those stages is better than another. They simply require different decisions, different resources, different specialists, different priorities. Now, if you have an idea that will not leave you alone, don't let uncertainty stop you, but don't rush into spending money either. Begin with clarity. That's why I created the complimentary Innovation Readiness Assessment. In about 4 minutes, you will discover where you are on the innovation journey framework. You receive your personalized innovation readiness report, identify your next best step. You'll find the link below in this video, and then there is a QR code on the screen that you can access the assessment directly. You will receive a full written report immediately to your inbox once you complete the assessment. If you have enjoyed today's discussion, please subscribe to this Innovation to Commercialization channel and share it with your friends. We're having a series of 12 videos here. In these next upcoming videos, we'll talk about patents, and we'll be interviewing various specialists that are part of our network. We'll be talking about building prototypes, market validation, choosing the right specialists, and many of the lessons I wish Richard and I had known when we began our own innovation journey. Remember, with every successful innovation, it begins with clarity, and every breakthrough begins with someone who dares to imagine things can be better. So I'm Gail Nichols. And until next time, keep imagining, keep creating, and keep moving confidently from concept to commercialization.